Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So I got this for you guys from the Cryptic Poet here. European internet banking Paydo just announced a partnership with Ripple partner Fedor Bank. So this is coming from prnewswire.com, guys. International online banking Paydo announced a collaboration with the leading bank in Germany. Companies will improve the payment infrastructure and help popularize online payments across Europe and the world. The expansion of the network of correspondents allows Paydo business clients to use all the advantages of European banking, optimize the flow of payments, facilitate entry into new sales markets, minimize fraud, and allow customers to use one of the most promising payment instruments. So what will this do? This will improve the quality and speed of SEPA, SWIFT, and Target 2 payments, expand the range of services provided to individuals and corporate clients, and process both traditional card payments and alternative methods. So faster, more efficient payments. Internet banking payment company Paydo now partnering with Fedor, which we know is indeed a Ripple partner. From way back in 2014, guys, Fedor Bank AG, the first bank to use the Ripple Net protocol. So the very first bank ever. Ripple Labs today announced that Munich-based Fedor Bank AG will be the first bank to integrate the Ripple protocol. So I gotta say, these banks are continuing to partner with non-Ripple enabled banks, and they are clearly seeing the advantage to this. Faster payments, interoperability, improving quality of payment and speed. As you guys can see down here, improve the quality and speed of SEPA and SWIFT. We know without integrating with RippleNet, SWIFT on its own, a very slow alternative. And so this new technology, not so new for Fedor Bank, but definitely newer for Fedor's partners. I wanted to thank the Cryptic Poet for posting that. I saw this one, guys, from the Wrath of Conman. Okay, this is cool. The European Global Diaspora Facility noting the Ripple Frente Corretora de Cambio collaboration. Who did they cite? XRP Arcade. So Leonidas Hadjilozu is now officially linked through the XRP Arcade website through a hot link. This is the hot link here. Simple. Through this official PDF from the European Union Global Diaspora Facility. Okay, and so just with regards to this, in 2019, the Brazilian exchange broker Frente Corretora de Cambio, the Front Exchange, launched Simple, a fintech collaboration with San Francisco-based startup Ripple. The blockchain platform is designed to enable people in Brazil to send money abroad without the high fees and slow transaction times that are common in traditional money transfer mechanisms. And so Ripple uses Simple to address the fragmentation and unreliability of current remittance structures. So this partnership was way back from 2019, but they are now listed this in one of their most recent PDFs. So a great find there. Wanted to thank the Wrath of Conman and always Leonidas Hadjilozu for always doing some of the best research in the space, keeping us up to date on those Ripple partnerships, so on and so forth. And I guess this is a great time to plug his website, xrparcade.com. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, maybe if you're new to the XRP community, he's been doing this for a while. I guess I should bring the website up here on my screen. This is the XRP Arcade. I will leave a link in the description of this video. So a great new document here from that organization brought to us by the Wrath of Conman, mentioning Ripple and a dear member of the XRP community, Leonidas Hadjilozu, through the XRP Arcade website. And guys, still, scams going on. Beware if you are using Coinbase. Beware of this phishing scam, guys. Text message saying someone has logged into your Coinbase account and to follow the steps. So this is continuing to happen. I did touch on this several months ago, but clearly these scammers are still at it. So just be careful if you do get texts or, just for that matter, if you do get texts from an unknown number that has to do with anything crypto related, just disregard. What I tend to do is I block the number, then delete the text. Just disregard because chances are they are phishing for your information. They are phishing for your password. As you guys can see here, this clearly is a fake coinbase.com/disable trying to make it look like an official Coinbase website, but clearly not hiding it so great. So just a public service announcement here from Vander Decken on Twitter. And guys, if you still have your coins on an exchange, your XRP, or any other cryptocurrency for that matter, it might be worth looking into a cold storage solution. I personally use the Ledger Nano. I've given several Nanos away on this channel in the past. If you don't have a Ledger Nano, you can get one. I do have a link in the description of this video. You can use it if you want. You don't have to use it. It's just something that you can rely on, right? Because your keys, your crypto, that's the way this game is played. If you do not have the private keys to where you keep your cryptocurrency, Well, it is vulnerable, and the exchange can freeze it, for example. Always better to keep your cryptocurrency safe, especially if you're seeing those gains mount and mount. I mean, not right now. The cryptocurrency market fairly flat. However, might be something to look into in case you are planning to cash out a ton of money in crypto. Guys, this is another one from the Cryptic Poet. FuyuPay, Visa, and Ripple partner NEOM have now joined hands to launch a global business payment solution. I've never heard of FuyuPay myself. I know Visa did purchase Earthport, which is a Ripple-enabled company, a couple of years ago, and we definitely know it has been documented that NEOM is a Ripple partner as well. Well, FuyuPay, they have recently launched a B2B global payment solution with leading global digital payments company Visa and open bank NEOM in Hong Kong. This new product launch is a new breakthrough since Fuyu and Visa started collaborating on B2B payments in Greater China. Fuyu, Visa, and NEOM share a common goal in bringing better commercial payment experiences to enterprises in Greater China, leveraging Visa's strong commercial payment solution and its global network, NEOM's card issuance support, and Fuyu's technical service capabilities. The three parties have joined hands to develop a safe and seamless payment tool for enterprise users in Greater China and globally. And they note down here that, small and medium enterprises, or SMEs, have definitely been hit by the pandemic. And so, these faster payments, these solutions that Ripple had already been working on pre-pandemic are definitely coming to the forefront now more than ever. A lot of these companies are taking a chance on something that could create more efficiency throughout their workflow and payment solutions. So through this collaboration with Visa and NEOM, Fuyu seeks to create global payment products and solutions for cross-border e-commerce advertising, overseas education, and cross-border travel, among other payment categories, and offer the following services to different sectors across a wide range of payment scenarios. So not going to get into them in detail, guys, but it is card customization is number 1, multi-format support number 2, and service support number 3. I will link this article in the description if you guys are interested in reading further. Wanted to thank the Cryptic Poet for posting that. Also wanted to mention this, guys, another one from the Wrath of Kahneman. A June Credit Suisse doc notes globally aspiring fintechs are hitting a wall as payments are local. Others like Ripple and Partner Currency Cloud are able to deal with regional local payments. Ripple also was mentioned in the crypto B2B and unbanked sections, and this document was from last month, but I didn't catch it. Wrath of Kahneman just bringing it to our attention now. So we know Credit Suisse, a Ripple partner already, and they mention Ripple several times in this document here, so global themes and fintech companies involved. You guys can see right down here under the cryptocurrency, stablecoins, and CBDCs and their roles in payments, we definitely have Ripple down here listed in that category. We go down to page 7. Ripple is also listed here under theme number 22. Fintech is local and regional. And so, it's interesting because at the beginning, I know we've heard Brad Garlinghouse say that, RippleNet is most effective for cross-border payments. I mean, if you are, and he gave the example, I believe, of the USD, if you are converting, or not converting, but even if you're just sending USD to somebody in USD, that is not necessarily where you would see RippleNet technology being utilized. And yet, now we're seeing this come out from Credit Suisse, saying that fintech is local and regional. And even though that is the case, even though it is the most efficient for cross-border payments, we are now seeing countries using them for local and regional payments as well. Clearly, unlike in the Western world, like in the United States and much of Europe, there are likely more factors involved in local payments and why they would choose RippleNet over some other solutions. We also see Ripple mentioned here, again, as Wrath of Kahneman mentioned, in the unbanked and underbanked section. So utilizing that technology would definitely help that segment of the population as well. So just down here, page 30, it is mentioned again that Ripple definitely is beneficial, or rather they are one of the companies involved with regards to this local and regional fintech revolution. And if we go right down here, page 33, Ripple also mentioned over here, it's really small, I'm going to try to zoom in and post to show you guys that B2B payments, Ripple also mentioned for cross-border B2B payments. So we can see there are also some Ripple partners on here like AirWallets and Currency Cloud as well. So this is great coming from this Credit Suisse report from back last month. Wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. I also wanted to mention this, guys. I thought this was an interesting tweet from Jungle Inc. here on Twitter, the Hinman Standard. So what is the Hinman Standard, and could it eventually replace the Howey test for cryptocurrencies? And here is some insight as to where William Hinman's mind was, at least when this blog post was originally published back in 2019. So here's the original tweet from Jungle Inc., and it brings up this blog post, guys, from Baker Donaldson. Now, Baker Donaldson, for those of you guys who do not know, they are a law firm. So they specialize in this kind of thing. Baker Donaldson, Behrman, Caldwell, and Berkowitz is a U.S. law firm and lobbying group with offices in the southeastern United States and Washington. They have a total of over 650 employees, or rather 650 lawyers. That is their number of attorneys. A total of 21 offices. So they are not small potatoes, guys. Founded in 1888. And even here, when we just go to their website real quickly, more than 150 attorneys with trial experience in 48 different states. So a huge law firm. Sounds like they have a lot of influence. They published this blog, guys, back in 2019. So, of course, way before the Ripple lawsuit was even announced. But it's interesting. I wanted to get into this because I did think it was important to note, considering we do have William Hinman's deposition coming up. The Blockchain Association suggested a framework called the Hinman Standard, which is based on a speech delivered by the director of the Division of Corporate Finance, William Hinman, on June 14, 2018, at the Yahoo Finance Market Summit. In his remarks, Director Hinman said that digital tokens or coins may not be securities, okay, if the network on which they exist is sufficiently decentralized. Applying this standard to Bitcoin and Ether, he concluded that neither digital coin qualified as a security because it existed on a network where no single actor or group maintained sufficient control over its success or failure. Because of Director Hinman's analysis of Bitcoin and Ether, the Blockchain Association argued that tokens should not qualify as securities if they are located on a network at least as decentralized as Bitcoin or Ether's networks were on June 14, 2018. The Blockchain Association applied these factors outlined in Director Hinman's speech to Bitcoin and Ether in order to demonstrate a threshold for satisfying the Hinman token standard. Based on this analysis, a network with some functionality, distributed and open governance, and more users than speculators is decentralized enough to disqualify any tokens existing on the network from being a security. So it's interesting to note here, I'm going to get back to this first paragraph in a second, but I just wanted to focus in on this for now. Distributed and open governance. We know the XRPL has been an open ledger since the beginning. Anybody can work on it. Sure, there are going to be speculators in this space purchasing tokens like XRP. However, there are also so many use cases for XRP, and we know those use cases are continuing to grow. We know the XRPL open for everybody to build on, and we've seen examples of that in the space like Vitsvind. Tuo Labs, another one that comes to mind, Coil, a lot of different use cases, a lot of different people building on the XRPL. So apart from Director Hinman's speech, the SEC has suggested through informal commentary and enforcement actions that most, if not all, tokens qualify as securities. So they are in fact stating, most tokens will qualify as securities if they do not fit within this particular framework. The commissioner of the SEC at that time, we know it was Jay Clayton, even said that his testimony in Congress, I do believe every ICO I've seen is a security. So I get that. I get that he sees an ICOs, or rather an initial coin offering, that indeed is a security. The crazy thing about this is that Vitalik Buterin has gone on the record saying basically their funding model way back in 2015, their funding model was a hybrid model. So basically half ICO, half, and he even used the example of what Ripple did back in the early days. And if you guys didn't catch that video, I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. It has been publicly documented that Ripple did indeed build their company through venture capital funding and not through an ICO model. So therefore, the SEC's informal guidance has trended towards the application of the federal securities laws to the offer and sale of digital tokens. This has caused most emerging companies interested in token offerings to either seek alternative methods of financing or undertake the cost of complying with or finding an exemption to the disclosure regime imposed by federal securities laws. And then down here, guys, get what they're saying down here. The Hinman token standard, which they are deeming it, helps emerging companies understand the potential path for developing a network that falls outside the scope of federal securities laws. The Howey test is designed to ensure the application of federal securities laws to any transaction where investors expect to profit from the efforts of a central group of promoters. Given the test, it makes sense to focus on developing a functional network that is not dependent on a central group of leaders for its success or failure if emerging companies wish to avoid federal securities regulation. In a truly decentralized network, as the Blockchain Association and Director Hinman both indicated, information asymmetries will not exist between an inside group and investors, and the application of the disclosure regime under the federal securities laws to such a network will offer little benefit. Down here, they tied up the Hinman token standard is not a perfect standard, of course, and then they refer to this section of the law, which I believe is the Howey test. Further, neither Director Hinman nor the SEC has publicly applied apply the standard to any digital asset other than Bitcoin or Ethereum. So of course, this again, guys, was back in 2019, early days in this. Arguably, though, both of these digital coins existed on networks that were clearly decentralized, even though, as the Blockchain Association suggested, there was some concentration of leadership in their development, which we all know. I mean, every coin's got to have some concentration of development at the beginning, right? Then when that coin is released into the ecosystem, we have other developers developing on those blockchains. Same with XRP. So as a result, it is difficult to use Bitcoin and Ether as a guide for tokens existing on networks that require more input from a core group of promoters. Until the SEC or Congress issues more formal guidance regarding digital tokens, regulatory uncertainty will continue to affect the development and financing of blockchain networks. In the meantime, the Hinman Token Standard represents meaningful guidance for emerging companies to consider when creating their networks. So this came out in 2019, or rather 2018, when he delivered that talk with regards to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that is the big question here. Baker Donaldson weighing in on this. Clearly, they wanted to bring this to our attention way back in 2019. So let me just get back to this first paragraph here. And I think that even just within this first paragraph, we really can point out the clarity, point to XRP, and basically say, look, it does fit within Hinman's token standard. Now, I know the case is messy. I understand that there is a lot more involved, but even just with regards to this, I wanted to bring up this tweet here, guys, from James Rule XRP. Hey, SEC Gov, if you did some research 7 years ago, you would know that XRP is the currency of currencies for bridging all the money. So this is interesting because this was a Ripple presentation from back in November of 2014, and the link is embedded here within this tweet, and I will link this tweet in the description of the video. So just to start things off, the Ripple protocol, a deep dive for finance professionals, and down here you guys can see just a bit of a flowchart, just demonstrating some kind of basic applications of the Ripple protocol way back in 2014 when they were really trying to get it off the ground, right? When they were marketing it to banks. And also note over here, guys, how the Ripple protocol works. So just a bit of a comparison between Swift, Bitcoin, and Ripple. And again, remember, this was from back in 2014, so this was near the beginning. The architecture, of course, we have Swift, a centralized system. We've got Bitcoin decentralized, and we've got Ripple also decentralized. Obviously, they give some other points here that just demonstrate why Ripple is a better option, but I don't want to focus on those. What I do want to focus on is this: Ripple decentralized from the beginning, even as early as 2014. Let's go back to this. With regards to the Hinman Token Standard, Director Hinman said that digital tokens or coins may not be securities if the network on which they exist is sufficiently decentralized. And I believe later on in this, he did say, it would have had to have been decentralized near the beginning because the idea is that, most blockchains will eventually not need babysitting as time goes on. But, even as early as 2014, Ripple, the company Ripple, definitely states the decentralized nature of the XRP ledger. I also just wanted to bring your attention to the Ripple Wikipedia page, okay? And this is a great source because sometimes, especially if you're new to the community, you might not know what happened in the beginning. Ripple was never a company until after XRP came into existence. And so I just want to read you a little bit of the history. Ripple was conceived by Jed McCaleb and built by Arthur Brito and David Schwartz, who then approached Ryan Fugger, who had debuted in 2005 as a financial service to provide secure payment options to members of an online community via a global network. And Ryan Fugger had developed a system called OpenCoin, which would transform into Ripple. So let's go back here, guys. Ryan Fugger had this initial idea in 2005. Okay, this was even before Bitcoin had been debuted. And so if you take it to all the way back then, and the initial seed, the initial idea of XRP being created, well, some may argue that it is the original cryptocurrency. And at that time, it was called the OpenCoin project, which would later transform to become Ripple. Of course, that didn't happen until 2012. So XRP had already been created at that time. Clearly, how can a cryptocurrency be centralized if you're claiming the company that has ownership of it did not even exist when it was created? So the company also created its own form of digital currency referred to as XRP to allow financial institutions to transfer money with negligible fees and wait time. In 2013, the company reported interest from banks for using its its payment system. So at that point, that's when it all began. But initially, these guys were developing this from the beginning. A decentralized network, as even mentioned here in this 2014 presentation, decentralized, same as Bitcoin. And over the years, XRP has become even more decentralized. And so here we have the Hinman Standard, sufficiently decentralized. And clearly they are looking at ICOs as well, saying, basically, or at least Jay Clayton did say at that time, basically stating anything that is an ICO is essentially a security based on just that terminology, based on that definition. I understand that, I get it. But having Ripple in court today, trying to prove that XRP does not fit this definition, even considering Hester Peirce and Elad Roisman have clearly stated that the rules are not crystal clear, and these are also chair people from the SEC. They are saying, the rules are not crystal clear. How can we say one thing is one and not the other if we ourselves don't even have a comprehensive framework to classify cryptocurrencies? So do you think, guys, the Hinman token standard could possibly replace or, in part replace the Howey test that we currently have to classify securities in the United States? I think if they do use it, they would certainly have to tweak it. And not only that, good news for XRP hodlers, if they do finally set this as the standard, I think at that point, if that decision is made, the SEC's chances of winning this lawsuit would absolutely diminish greatly. Of course, it's still up in the air. We're still waiting for William Hinman to take a seat and be deposed, but that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.